Damn, bro, this guy is handsome. Brolic. Loki, that's why they call him Broly, bro, because he's a brolic guy. He's handsome. But, yeah, back on Global. Finna do the cell event. I actually did a multi, and I ended up getting absolutely nothing. So, Loki should have stayed strong. I should have just waited for the Super Saiyan 4s, but what are you going to do? Here you go. Here you go, Bandai. Take a Dragonstone. Fuck it. I low-key fucked up. I mean, not every multi is going to be a winner, but I don't know, bro. It hurts a lot when you get a multi with nothing but SRs, boy. That's why low-key you got to wait for rate ups, or you got to wait for, I don't know, at least 3+1, something. And I need a Broly friend, bro. I actually did this event with a Goku Black friend, but the Goku Black was actually, like, ridiculously good. Like, I nuked that guy because he had crit, and I, like, legit destroyed him. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking too easy. I actually did this event a couple times, and I was like, yo, this is too easy. I need to use Broly. Monophi. Monophi's probably... yeah, I don't need for the Triamite. I already got Key, baby. Monophi's probably the funnest team. If not Buhan. Buhan's fun, but his team's kind of depressing. But Monophi is pretty fun. Only problem is with Mono Phi is, like, it's not as godly as the other ones. Like, for example, like, Mono STR, obviously, with Broly. LR Broly's ridiculous. Even with Omega, it's ridiculous. And then Mono Int is really good. Mono AGL is just really fun. Mono Phi is fun, too, but I don't know. Something about it. It's just, it definitely feels like, I mean, everyone says it's the worst Mono team. I know eventually with Phi Kura it becomes better, but I feel like Phi Kura actually fucks up the dichotomy, because what ends up happening is it becomes a very centric team where one turn you have Cooler and full power Frieza, and then the other turn you either have Goku Black and someone else, or you have Broly and someone else, which I guess is okay. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do with this team eventually. When full power Frieza comes out, ooh boy, I'm getting that guy. Oof. I'm getting, not only am I getting that guy, but I'm using both of my red Dragon Stones to get him. That way I could get him to SA10 and then unlock his bottom right, because he's really good. He's probably, other than Gogeta, he's probably the only original God card that actually stands up and is really good. And I guess, fuck, I need key. I need key. I guess I'll take these red, fuck it. But, well, just got done, bro. I've been chilling. Actually got super drained. I know this sounds repetitive at this point, but I got super drained by your boy Dokkan battle. It's really hard to make authorization keys to communicate with the server. I'm really close to just draining someone's energy on the subreddit, like someone who knows, and be like, hey man, can you just give me the fucking, how do you make the auth key? Because when you communicate with the server, everything has to be dynamic. I tried to do it statically. I'm like, maybe it'll work, maybe not. I tried it out enough times. I realized now it has to be dynamic, which basically means that, like, everything's a variable and you need to figure out how to do it. So far, obviously, I know how to do time. That's easy. You just do, you know, time from the Unix fucking machine. But then when it comes to the jutsu known as fucking Mac auth keys, I know you have to use a combination of user account and... what else? I think a couple things. You need to append it and then hash it. And I don't know how to do that yet. Honestly, if, like, I know this exists, but if I didn't know it didn't exist, I'd be like, yeah, this is impossible. Like, I would have given up on this already if it wasn't for the fact that people, like, they actually do this with PHP. It's actually pretty annoying. I mean, the guy who, like, kind of started it off, your boy Renzi, he's pretty nice. I don't know. I mean, back in the day, I know he used to share it a lot. I don't know if he'd share it now. I kind of want to figure it out myself, but I don't know if I can figure it out myself, just because not only am I not familiar with it, but it's something that's like, it's cryptography, like they set it up. And damn, I nuked those Cell Juniors pretty well, dude. I'm pretty surprised about that. Hey, it's your boy, TUR Tech Cell, a.k.a. Irrelevant. I mean, I got 2 dupes with this guy, Loki. Maybe one day he'll come back. But yeah, I was just getting drained, just doing shit in PHP. I actually gave up on it for a little bit. I, like, made a website just to put, like, info on it and some other shit, but I don't know. It's kind of depressing. I really wanted the web scrape data from fucking, what do you call it, Dokkan, but I do not think that's going to happen at this point. maybe in the future, maybe when I get more time, or maybe, just maybe, when I decide that I'm like, fucking, I'm just gonna drain Renzi's energy, send him a message like, hey boss, can you please tell me the secret? And then he's be like, nah, nigga, fuck you. But it is what it is. I'm chilling. At least I'm not fucking like your boy Trump. I actually just got done reading James Comey's opening statement to the Senate committee tomorrow. Well, I think it's the Senate's Central Intelligence Committee, is it? I know it's intelligence. That's about all I know. Low-key, I think it's in the URL. Let me check the URL right now. Hold up. Okay, I closed the tab. Never mind. You're never going to know. It was actually pretty good. It was like 7 pages. I actually put it in the description. I recommend you read it yourself. It's kind of an interesting read. I mean, it's modern-day politics. I mean, come on. If you don't know history and if you don't know politics, then you're ignorant. But it was a good read. It definitely was interesting. It definitely is. I mean, no. I mean, you know, it's definitely something that is pretty crazy when you think about it. Like our country and how it's become. I mean, there's no set rule on who can be president. Anyone of the age of 35 or older can be president of the United States, like anyone. But it's kind of weird to see that, that's really, that's for real, really true, because, like, Trump is so fucking stupid. Like, that nigga is really, like, clinically dumb. Like, I know a lot of people to go to, they're like, oh, but he's a businessman, he made millions. All right, first of all, Trump, he's a businessman, he's a nice guy. I honestly don't like him politically. As a person, I guess he's entertaining. I don't know, he's kind of an asshole, but you gotta understand that he was born with money, he got money, and he pretty much took something he already had and built on it. It's a lot harder to start off with nothing and then get something. Nigga already had something, like that's pretty much being given, like, all the tools you need and just, like, keep on going. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to keep the success going as opposed to make success and then keep it going. Even so, I mean, it's not like he's a mongoloid. He did do something. He did achieve something. And I'm low-key here talking shit. I can't even get fucking PHP to work right. Yeah, I was reading the Comey report. Again, pretty interesting. It's pretty cool that that guy, he's a nice historical type of guy, because every time he talked to the president, he basically immediately went out in his car and used, like, an FBI laptop to basically write down everything he talked about, and which was cool. This nigga's low-key Herodotus. But one of the things, the biggest thing, the gigantic thing that actually might be grounds, possibly, if it ends up being true, and if it ends up being something that had malicious intent with obstruction of justice, is that whole Mike Flynn thing. If you don't know, like, Mike Flynn is damn, I can't remember exactly who he was in the cabinet, but he basically had conversations with Russia that weren't really regulated. Like, there's certain rules as a politician that you can't do. I mean, constitutionally, legally. I mean, if you just read the Constitution, you kind of get the gist of it. Like, no kind of person who's a part of the cabinet can, for example, accept gifts from, like, some principality and do favors and stuff like that. So he was basically in talks with Russia about what it was about exactly. Not really sure, but he stepped down. Or actually, I think he was removed. In the Commune paper, Trump says that he didn't do anything wrong. He just was leading the vice president-elect astray somehow. Basically, like, giving him information that was, I don't know, I guess, troubling to some degree. Or maybe just giving him, like, just basically doing his job poorly. But the thing is, the reason why it has, like, obstruction of justice is because Trump basically told Comey, like, to let it go, like, basically saying he's a nice guy, he's a good guy, I hope you can see clearly that you should just let him go, basically saying, like, hint, hint, you let him go, on the low, I'll let you know that you could be the next vice president, low-key. But, and another thing that's weird about Trump, well, not really weird, this is something that's indicative of the executive branch, so I guess it's not too crazy with Trump, is that, he was basically, when he was talking to the FBI director, he was basically saying that, You know, I want loyalty. I demand loyalty. If you're going to be working in accordance with me, then I need loyalty. And basically what Kami said, I think is very correct and something that's should be employed by the different branches of government and even their sub-branches, is that the FBI, the DOJ should be separate and in and of itself from the executive branch in order to preserve justice and in order to prevent any type of, possibility of, corruption or even the idea of corruption. But, I mean, and another thing that makes Trump look super stupid is, like, when he was talking to Kami on the phone, like, for example, I think it was his second to last phone call. He was basically talking to Kami, and he's like, hey, boss. He's like, just so you know, I never talked to the Russians. I never said anything that could be bad. Blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, bro, the most jutsu thing, he's like, I went to Russia, and I didn't have any sex with hookers. No Russian hookers. 0 Russian hookers. I'm like, boo. I'm like, this guy's in the realm. And I'm like, come on, bro. If you're going to go to Russia, I mean, come on. You got to get the hookers. That's fucking half the battle. But, again, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things, like, obviously, as the president of the United States, like I said, anyone can be president. But I'm almost more of a, almost like, I would rather have a pure republic than have a pure democracy. Like, almost an aristocracy is better than a pure democracy, in my opinion. I mean, when you look at it from a historical perspective, a democracy is good. Certain elements of it are good. But, I mean, a lot of the times, the best form of government is usually what Polybius said. Polybius and then later Charles Montesquieu, is where they basically said a mixture of the 3 archetypal governments: an aristocracy, a democracy, and a republic, which is pretty much what the United States is, with pretty much what the original Roman Republic was. And that's usually the best. But, I mean, when it comes to a pure democracy, like, do you really want the majority deciding what you want? I mean, obviously Trump, it wasn't, it's the republic. It's through the electoral college. But the electoral college obviously is swayed by their own votes, and the electoral college in themselves is pretty much a democratic entity in the sense that, their votes, the majority of their votes count. And what's funny is, like, a lot of people, they're like, yo, bro, Trump won and he didn't even get the majority, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you gotta understand that certain states have more, agency than other states. That's just how it is. I mean, for example, if Hillary Clinton had more people, but those people all came from, like states that didn't have a large electoral college, then she could technically still lose. So, I mean, a lot of people, they went into a deep jutsu where they're like, fuck the electoral college, I want it gone. I'm not that type of guy. I mean, obviously, it's not a perfect system, but I would say it's better than a pure democracy. But even so, on the low, I gotta say that your boy Trump is pretty fucking dumb. Like, he really doesn't have any redeeming qualities from what I've seen. I mean, the only thing I would say from a very, like, objective, like, political perspective is the fact he's a Republican, and he's basically going to push forward more Republican and less Democratic views, which I guess if you're a Republican you'd like. I mean, I'm more of a moderate, but it's kind of jutsu. Look at this nigga, bro. Mono 5. I low-key almost lost, but that Dokkan fucking saved my life. Get the fuck out of here. KO, bitch. But, yeah, I definitely recommend you read it. It's only 7 pages. It's definitely weird. It's definitely, if you're not a big history buff, I'm not really, gigantic history, but I like certain aspects of it. I definitely recommend you read up on, like, things with Richard Nixon, even LBJ, where the executive branch basically tried to, throughout history of the executive branch of the government, the president has always tried to usurp power and take more power. That's pretty much what Trump's trying to do, but he was pretty fucking direct. Niggas like, yo, you leave my boy Flynn alone. He's a nice guy. But your boy Kami, bro, he takes some nice notes. I feel bad for anyone who, like, says some freak shit to him. Because he's like, yo, bro, I got notes to that. You know what you talking about? You put a hot dog up your ass, you dirty motherfucker? I got notes to that. So, something to keep in mind. I got the time. A nuke cell, mono 5, baby. I'm low-key, if I need more medals, I'll just use mono STR, but that's pretty much it. Shit was legit. Trump's dumb as shit.